Hello Scorpio, welcome to your August 2020 video. I always like to give a disclaimer when I see certain messages in your spread, and I do see heavy third party energy here, so just as a warning, if you feel like it doesn't resonate with you and your situation, I would say check back. Either I'm going to start doing mid-month readings next week, so I would either check back then or subscribe to my Patreon where I do separate readings, separate love readings for those in relationships, those who are single, and those who are going through a breakup. So I have my link in the description box. And if it does resonate, because I am getting that a lot of you are aware, unfortunately, that you may be in a third party situation, I would say stick around because I did get a really important message for you here. I want to say the energy is almost of that of an underdog. I hate to say it, but I see a lot of people trying to tear you down. I forgot which sign it was. I hope it wasn't yours, but there was a reading I did last month or last a couple weeks ago for a sign. I want to say Aquarius, and I feel like it was a water sign, maybe Cancer or Leo actually. It was Leo. The third party person was just someone really antagonizing, someone slightly off the rocker, to put it nicely. They were very competitive with Leo, and I get similar energy for you. I will say that this third person is not as bad. I didn't feel their energy as strongly as I did with Leo, but I do feel like almost a concentrated effort to keep you in a certain place in your life. And I will say, just in case I haven't lost you already, I do see that you overcome it, especially if you stay on the path you're on, because for me, tarot is very fluid. So, yeah, as long as you keep the mentality that I see you have, because you start out the spread trying to heal, you start out the spread in a very spiritual or seeking faith in higher power. So, yeah, you got so many major arcana cards, you got a lot of wand cards. So it's funny, I don't know if any of you have Leo in your chart as well, so maybe that's why I'm getting similar energy, or if someone involved is a fire sign, but I got so many wand cards. I got the Sun, which is Leo. Yeah, I got the Fool, Aries, a lot of fire sign energy. So if it resonates, please stick around. But that being said, let's get into your reading. If you are familiar, I always like to do that little face-to-face, introduce myself. I give you a little disclaimer if needed, or just an overall little mini soundbite about what to expect. Because my readings tend to be a bit long, but there's a lot of forgiveness here. There's a lot of reevaluating, a lot of mental strength. I will say whoever resonates with this is a very mentally strong person. It's someone who overcomes. That's what I'm getting with that underdog energy here. Just someone who people, either they feel sorry for you because of what you're going through. I feel like this person, this third party situation could have possibly even been something public where a lot of people were aware of it before you were. So that could also be where the pity is coming in. But a lot of people that just felt like, oh, there's no way I could have gone through that. They're shocked and they either admire you for getting through it or they're kind of salty about it. But let's just get started with the first cards. Definitely Temperance here is where I started feeling that healing energy. The Six of Wands. So I do feel two different sets of people are most likely watching this. You either could currently still be with this person that is in a third party or causing this third party, or you've already walked away. So I would say more so at the beginning of the spread is for the people who have walked away, especially with the Eight of Cups here, obviously, and the Six of Swords, of course. But I did definitely get a few energies of someone is either mentally holding out hope that this person is coming back, or they didn't fully leave. So that could also apply to the people who physically walked away too. They just haven't mentally walked away. You really do start off seeking balance and healing, especially with this Temperance card. I really like the idea of you just sitting with what's happened and self-reflecting. The Six of Swords, though, it's almost like you're questioning your reality. Um, you want a better foundation, but you're trying to figure out how you're gonna go about getting it. And I feel such calmness here, and I feel like such a smooth transition. It's like you've been preparing for this change, and it's happening just the way it needed to, even though I feel a lot of grief. This Six of Swords cards, I love this deck. It's so beautiful, the artwork on here, but I feel a lot of sorrow in this particular rendering of the Six of Swords. Even though it most likely is a smooth transition physically, because I kept getting that with this Eight of Cups too. Mentally, it's really it's shaking you a bit. The Tower came up for you a couple times. It did make it in your spread, but it also came out while I was clarifying a couple times too. So, unfortunately, this was a really sudden exposure of something. It was a really shocking discovery. It really felt destructive, and it felt like you just didn't deserve it. But after all that, there really is an ownership of your life with this Temperance card and the Six of Swords. There really is you just gathering your mental strength and taking, your the step to get ownership over your life after someone really hurt or betrayed you. I kept hearing the word alchemy. I don't know if any of you are practitioners or into spirituality, especially since I saw a lot of cards that show that you could possibly be so, but alchemy kept coming up. So it's almost like you're creating something out of nothing here, and it's starting right at the beginning of the spread. You are making room for a lot more trustworthy people to come into your life, though, that's for sure. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I'm getting possible third party, which is why you're walking away. But more importantly, I'm just getting that this person was just an all around bad partner for you. Um, you really had to leave them in the dust with this card. This betrayal didn't break you though, especially with Temperance being the first card right off the bat. It regenerated you, so this wasn't just something where you were broken by. You created something from this. You're coming out so much stronger, and that's just from these first three cards. I'm also getting with this Eight of Cups that you may have also sacrificed a lot for this person in the past. Um, I got the sense that for a lot of you, this was a legal union, this was a marriage, this was a family. For most of you, it could have just been a long term relationship, or it could have just been a really intense short term relationship. But there were feelings invested here. I felt a lot of sacrifice. I felt a lot of time lost and feelings that just were not returned at the level that they should have been. But for most of you, I got that you sacrificed a lot because you wanted a happy home. But I think this person just ended up taking and taking until you had nothing else left to give in this connection. And that's why you just ended up in the Six of Swords and Temperance energy. Um, I feel like you walking away was you demanding that your own cup was going to be equally full from here on out. Because I really love that Temperance came up with the Eight of Cups, because in all the renderings of Temperance, you see this angel, pouring water back and forth between two chalices. So this is you just saying, I really am gonna give to myself now because I've given all I can give to someone who didn't deserve it. Especially with this Nine of Wands being immediately after, and the Queen of Wands is just here. It's just where it gets a little sketchy for me in terms of this other person. Um, I think you knew you were fighting a losing battle with this in reverse here. It could have been, not everything in tarot is related to love, but just in particular with these cards that came out, I really felt this was a romantic situation, and it's just over, and you acknowledge that there's nothing left to invest anymore. Because, like I said, you really put everything into it. For those of you who this was a shorter term romance, I still feel like there was a high level of giving that was put into this. So the Queen of Cups too showed up. So I feel like you're a water sign. You're very emotional. You were literally the Queen of Cups. So even if you're not with someone long term, you go into relationships all in, and I feel like that's a beautiful thing. But the passion just flamed out really quickly with this Nine of Wands in reverse. Um, I feel like this was a very dramatic ending. because of this third party here, I felt also while shuffling to get a clarifier, the Seven of Cups kept coming up, the Devil popped up once. I really feel like this was a third party with someone who felt like they had so many options. They tried to juggle you with someone else, this Queen of Wands. And this Queen of Wands, I just, I normally got, I love this card because I'm a Leo Venus, and I really feel like the Queen of Wands is a very empowering queen. She's a powerful manifester. She's the witchy queen, but she could also signify a mistress. So this mistress could be a possible fire sign, or she just has that energy of someone who goes after what she wants and doesn't really care. I'm not saying that fire signs are like that, obviously, but that could be the less evolved sign, the less evolved energy of the Queen of Wands or of fire signs. And I'm also getting that for some of you, this other person, like they just gloated about your person being unfaithful with them, or I'm also getting they may have confronted you in some type of way. I'm not feeling this third person's energy. I don't like it. And I hate being that tarot reader, but I like to call the cards as I see them. And again, that being said, like I said, she is the witchy queen. I really feel like work was being done. Um, because like I felt like a concentrated energy or a concentrated effort was put into making you feel a certain way, or put into making you feel at a certain level or this small. So for whoever that resonates with, maybe a select few, maybe a large handful, definitely up your spiritual protection, because this person is no joke spiritually. Well, you may just be coming into your spirituality or getting in touch with your spirit guides. This is someone that's been did that. This is someone that's already well versed in spiritual practices and rituals. This might not be someone using it for good, or this could be someone that just in this one situation, she or he is using it for nefarious purposes. But just really watch your back with that situation if you feel it resonates. Like I said, a concentrated effort is just being put into making your life harder. And another thing, I'm getting Queen Bee vibes from this person too. So someone really territorial. So this person is willing to fight you for your person. And that's why I also said I feel like some of you, even with the Temperance and the Six of Swords, some of you, a select few of you, may not have physically left this person at this point, because yeah, the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups, it's walking away, but I also feel like some of you are preparing to do so, or giving ultimatums, or begging your person to leave this other person. So if that's the case, then this Queen of Wands is not happy about it, and she wants you out the picture. Not to sound ominous or sinister, but it's just, a typical third person that wants to be the only person. Moving forward though, in line with that, this Five of Wands is very competitive energy. It's very, um, it's conflict. It's not necessarily violent, but it's draining and it's drama. And with the Queen of Wands, I'm getting outside of romance, you are just not willing to put in effort towards drama. And despite all that, funny enough, I do feel like you have a lot of success coming to you. For those of you who did walk away, or even the ones who still decide to stay, or as long as you're on that process to healing, I feel like you have success coming to you because you're withdrawing your energy. You're kind of you're knowing where you stand with your person, and you really want to divert energy into what's going to bring you success and you happiness. And this card could be you climbing the corporate ladder. This rendering of this card is people. It almost looks like the same person here, but it's multiple people. They're working together. I feel like this is all you actually, just climbing the corporate ladder, climbing the professional ladder in some way. Um, and if the beginning of a spread was you healing, making sure your life evolves, like I said, you're taking that energy out, divesting that energy, and converting it into something that actually has tangible results for you. Because this romance, whoever this person is, it's really only causing you grief and headaches. So you are focused on something that, if even if it doesn't make you emotionally happy, it's making your bank account happy. Um, yeah, you're removing yourself from the drama though, especially with the Sun card coming out to clarify. This could be you building a business. Because I really felt the energy of a creation here. The Empress did come out too for you, all clarifying. While I was shuffling, I saw that card a lot. So you're creating something for sure. Um, I feel like the Five of Wands with the Sun card, you're not being dragged down to certain people's level. Like, you're not gonna stoop down to people that are trying to drag you to their level. Like I said, you just want to move on with your life. And some of you are really gaining spirituality because the Five of Wands is kind of finding a superior, finding someone to look up to. So the Five of Wands with a Temperance not so far away from this card in the spread is you're seeking faith in a higher power. And that this could be the point where it's like, you're really dealing with a lot with your past person, with this third party energy trying to really get under your skin, and you just really want to release. You really want to know that this won't last forever. And I think you get that sign that it won't last forever. Um, I I feel like I said, this was a divorce, so I got a lot of legal victory cards. Justice literally came out too for you. If any of you have kids, I am getting that they're going to be a really happy point in your life for sure. Even traveling, relocating, vacations, just an all around optimistic time. Especially once you start getting that success money wise, you really start to just focus in on your family. Um, for those of you again in legal battles, these two cards could signify you in custody, which would be a blessing, of course, and that can be really happy period for you. But moving on, the Queen of Cups, here you are, Scorpio. You show up in your own spread, which I love. Whenever a sign shows up in their own spread to me, it means that at some point or in some way they take mastery of their life, or they're grabbing the reins, they're present in their own life choices. And that being next to the Eight of Swords, I really feel like with the spirituality, it comes a lot of shadow work, because this is someone that has to really look at her self-limiting beliefs, at her self-limiting tendencies, like whatever decision she or he has made. Um, uh, so past traumas for you are really coming up, especially with the Moon card and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Wands coming up. Funny enough, the Seven of Swords did show up too, but I'll get to that. But this betrayal is hitting you a bit hard, even after the Sun card showed up. A lot of things in your physical are just so good, but your emotional and your mental is where you are fighting the battle. Your bank account may look great, your job may be going great, your family may be really happy, your friendships are thriving, but your romance has really made you take a step back mentally and emotionally, and you just have so much inner work to do thanks to this person. Um, you're wavering between self-love and self-pity with this Queen of Cups and the Eight of Swords, because the Queen of Cups at her upright, at her most evolved, is very self-aware, very emotionally in tune. She's the mystic, she's the dreamer, she's a poet. She's someone that just is in tune to the emotional realm and then the physical. But being next to the Eight of Swords, it's a battle to get there. It just didn't happen overnight. So you're just wavering that thin line between really loving and getting to know yourself, and then feeling sorry about everything that's been done to you. Um, with the Seven of Wands, particularly the way that this has been drawn, again, I just love decks that add their own little interpretations. But you see this person in the middle fighting off all these people. I feel like this could either be you battling certain parts of your psyche, or this could be battling the people that are trying to bring you down. Because, like I said a few times, I do really get that sense. Because the moon is here, I feel like your own self worth, your own self knowledge is taking precedence. Before all of this, before all of these outside influences, but I do see that it's a really hard time for you right now. There even could be some secrets from your past, from this past person you're dealing with, that come to light. And like I said, if you didn't physically leave this person, if you didn't set a hard boundary or make that final separation, um, something comes out at this point that makes you have to do so, and I don't see it being salvageable. I don't see a turning point here to where you can start over. I really do feel like this is a final ending, because you find out something that you just know, all right, there's no turning back here. There's no way I can forgive this person, or there's no way I can trust this person like ever again after this. The moon again is secret. But it's not just any type of secret. It's just something that is really taboo almost. So if this is in relation to the third party person, it's just something that, all right, well, I see you in a completely different light now, and now I have to walk away. And I say that because the Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and then the Five of Cups. So I have said in multiple videos, the Eight of Cups is my walking away without looking back card, especially after doing all you can do. My Five of Cups is I am walking away, but I really don't want to. I'm still hoping that you'll call me back and we can start over. Now, two fives. It's not great in a love reading, because it kind of it signifies that you are losing to something or someone. It's competition. And you also got the Five of Wands earlier, and that's a competition card. So for those again who did not leave physically, you unfortunately may end up getting left for this third party person, because like I said, this person's not going anywhere. They're putting up a fight, and they're extremely competitive with you for your person. It could even be that, yeah, I left, but I in theory, I feel like, yeah, I walked away and I did the hard thing, but I technically got left because this person was unfaithful. This person chose someone else, and I was the one that had to do the hard thing and cut ties. That's the energy I'm feeling here. There is some slight depression, there is some slight anxiety after all of this, because it was a really painful experience. And that's also why I put that disclaimer in the video, because if it doesn't apply, I don't want to put that label on anyone. But there's no way that I can see the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles and feel like this is a happy time for anyone. The loneliness, the regret, I feel like it's more over what could have been than what actually did happen. For those of you who are in a short-term relationship, you most likely were made a lot of false promises. You most likely had really high hopes, because again, the Queen of Cups, she's a hardcore romantic. She's someone who believes in love because she is so loving herself. So you could have been dealing with someone that presented a very false image, that presented a very false front. And once the reality hit, with the Five of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles, there was no turning point. I do feel like with the fives though showing up, you are on the right path. So in leaving that person and cutting off ties, you really are starting a new beginning and starting a new cycle. You still have so much potential here. I think if you really need that sign that you're on the right path, like I felt with the Sun card here, you're gonna get it. You know what 555 is? It's the sign from the universe to keep going. So you really get it. You really get it eventually that you did the right thing, because I do see you questioning that with this Five of Cups here. I Again, with the Five of Pentacles, I know that this is being left out in the cold card. It's also a warning to save money, but fun fact, it's a warning to spend wisely. It's not necessarily that you're going to be impoverished or in debt, even though it is a signal that you should pay your debt because you may not have the means to do so. But I really feel like this is you hustling and making a name for yourself. I almost want to say every time this past person feels you advancing or going up a level, they come in some way to try to bring you down. I'm not saying that this is your past person specifically. It could even be this Queen of Wands here, but something just tells me that either the two of them combined or one of them, they just don't like the idea of you advancing and moving on. And that's also why I'm getting that this was a legal union. Um, and possible co-parent because of the sun and the justice, and a lot of cards that signify this wasn't just a one-off thing. But they have access in a way to you in whatever way resonates, but it extends more than just a regular relationship. So if this is a divorce, I do feel like you will get what you deserve in terms of alimony or child support, or even just custody. They seem to know when you're doing good, though, regardless of whether you're married or not. They seem to have this inner knowing, or just have a way of keeping tabs on you. And for some reason, they also owe you. That's the vibe I'm getting too. This is just a very short time period, though. It's not gonna to last very long to where you just feel defeated and drained. Like I said, you have so much outside success, you have so much external success. It's just the mental and the emotional that may be getting you down a bit. Again, this is weird because this is one of the first and only readings I have where clairaudiently I got a lot of messages for you. So one thing I heard in particular with these three cards here, the 5-5, the 2 5s, I want to warn you about possible copycats, and it's not even just from this person. It's from work too. So there are copycats around you. There are thieves around you. It's in relation to your past person, but it's also people that have known you, because you have people that have their eyes on you and that had their eyes on you. Because as I said in the beginning of the video, it feels like this was a public thing. Um, Basically, someone is really just trying to go after what you have. And for those of you who didn't walk away again, I feel like this is around the point where you'll be pushed to walk away because someone is going to go really hard and trying to take what's yours. Um, and again, if that doesn't resonate, then this could also be where your past person makes their own decision to go toward this Queen of Wands here. It's really not an easy thing as a reader to tell my audience. I know I may have lost some of you. I think the last time I did a reading like this, I got my first dislike. So even despite all that, I still want to be as honest as I can about what I see, especially since it's not all bad. Like I said, this is a very underdog type of energy, so I don't get that I really don't get that this is the end all be all of this, because you have a really strong inner core and you have a psychic strength that you might not even be aware of. The High Priestess didn't show up, but the Moon card did, the Eight of Swords, the Queen of Cups did. You have an inner strength that you probably aren't aware of. I feel like immediately after, though, you're just ready to be free of this whole situation. Because the Ten of Wands showed up, and this is someone, traditionally a Ten of Wands, you see someone with a whole back full of wands, just really hunched over, trying to move forward despite like the little burden that's on his back. This is more of a, I'm packing my things and I'm going, and I'm heading off to the unknown, and I'm doing so free. This is not someone that necessarily packed light, but emotionally, I feel like that's kind of what I heard. Pack light, and it's really strange, but I feel like some of you move on rather quickly with this Two of Wands, and this Ten of Wands is just you trying to get rid of that past person so you can move forward. Even if you aren't in a new connection, this could just be you creating that business and taking it to a new step, and you don't want that person to get anything, especially if this, like I said, was a legal union. If it wasn't, I do feel like you're just ready to be out there. You're ready to go out into the world. It's at some point you just go from being really sad to saying, all right, well, this is my reality. I can sit and mope about it, or I can just go out and live my life. And we all know it's not that easy, but I see you taking the steps to do so. Karma, though, definitely comes into play here. It really comes back to bite. And like I said, this is a legal victory card, but it's also success. It's also balance. You have two cards signifying extreme balance, whereas Temperance is balance within, Justice is balance without. So you've got balance emotionally, and you've got balance in the physical. So whatever this person did to you, they either may experience it fairly quickly, or they're gonna have to pay you in some way, some form. Um, the Two of Wands too is you just saying yes to a sudden change, and I think you're really trying to bring it about some order after everything you've been through, because of course justice is balance, it's order, it's things being made right and being put in the right place, if that makes sense. But yeah, here's more of you letting go. This is the Fool energy, Aries too, so I really don't know if any of you are messing with a fire sign, have been with a fire sign, or have fire in their chart. Because I just got so many wands and the Sun card and the Fool. But I love the imagery. The way I lay my cards out here, it almost looked like, you know, with the Fool card being underneath the Ten of Pentacles. It's like that trust fall that we did when we were kids, or even as adults. Just where you just fall back and you have to trust that the people behind you literally have your back. And this is confirmation that they do. I really love the imagery here of these cards. You have a solid team in your corner, and they're with you every step of the way, especially with this three of Cups to clarify. For some, like I said, I really feel like you're getting into spirituality because of everything that's happened. It could be your ancestors, it could be a spirit guide. It's more than just your little literal family, because you're placing your faith into a higher being, into a higher power, and they have your back for sure. You have a spiritual team in your corner. Um, a lot of friends, a lot of celebrating too with this Three of Cups, but I will be careful with spending because, like I said, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles was the very last card here too. So normally when you come into money, that's when you have to be the most careful, and that's what I take a lot of these cards for you as, especially with the legal victories you possibly could be coming into. So more money, more problems, basically. Funny enough, again, clairaudiently, I heard that some of you may have a friend that parties a bit too much. Or you just have that friend that, you know, whenever you're with them, you two just become like wild. You just do whatever you want. Everyone has that friend where you have a lot of crazy stories with. And that could be the Two of Wands too, where you're just saying yes to everything to just get over the pain, or to just, you know, feel free after everything you've been through. So I am hearing know when to go home. And if it resonates, then I really don't have to explain everything. But there's a warning not to get too caught up in trying to distract yourself, basically. Because with the Fool, there is of course a warning to not be foolish. And you know, there's always the imagery of someone heading off a cliff. And yes, it's fun if you're doing it intentionally, but if you are unawares that there is a cliff headed your way, or you're heading away of a cliff, you really need to look at all angles. You need to make sure you're aware at all times. And with this Three of Cups, I'm getting it's more of your circle or your partying, and it's good to have fun. It's good to let loose, but just be careful, especially when you're doing it to heal from heartbreak. It's possible that you might overdo it. Like I said, the devil did come up a few times while shuffling, so you want to be careful of your healing tendencies and making sure they're not toxic, or they're not coping mechanisms that could cause you harm. That being said, the Four of Pentacles ended the spread with the Tower. So, I know the Tower is a scary card, but I'm getting, yes, you may get a shock, but you could also be the one providing the shock, because like I said, you have eyes on you. You have people that they either know what happened, or they were aware of what's going on, and they are shocked that you made it through. They're shocked that you're standing, you know, on 2 feet. It could be family that provides a shock. It could be from this Queen of Wands. It could be from your past person. But again, I really feel like you're the one that shocks everyone. Especially since, you know, you look at this person, and she's holding on to what she has. In the background, again, you see a lot of just things. You see a lot of it's a lot of I really don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. It's the first time I've ever blinked like this on camera. But someone that has a solid setting, and she's not letting anyone take anything from her. and that's the vibe I get. I see you prepping, and you're creating a stability for yourself to get back on solid ground. So I feel like the Tower is more of you recovering and creating a new life for yourself than more than anything. Especially since the Death card was at the bottom of the deck, with the Knight of Wands here too. So you're just living your life and having fun. It's also you withholding your energy too, so it could be you surprising someone or a group of people because you're just not, you didn't react in a way that they expected, or you're just not, like I said, you're not putting in energy anymore in drama, and they're just shocked that they didn't get the rise out of you that they thought they would. I really hope that that resonated because it was a lot of pain I felt too. It was also a lot of new beginnings, a lot of success. We are really stretched for time, so I want to pull a few oracle cards. But like I said, if this is just not your story, I do have a Patreon page. I provide so much free content on my TikTok, my Instagram, my Twitter. I have all those links in the description box, and I also do personal readings as well. I also made a new platform that I'll explain later where I will do more extended reads. I'll talk about that in your next video. But let's get that oracle card out for you. Yeah, basically I do feel like the need to be careful because you're healing from something and you don't want to go backwards. And I think that's an important thing because people are definitely trying to drag you down. The Nine of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Moon card here, the Nine of Swords. Apologize, takes me long to shuffle. The smaller the deck, the harder it is for me to get a card. And I don't take multiples. There we go. Your hard work is paying off, New Moon in Capricorn. And that kind of fits because you got a lot of pentacles too with all the Wands cards. You got a lot of business success, a lot of forging ahead, creating your own identity type of energy. So your hard work will pay off as long as you know where to invest that time and energy. I do want to pull one more. Law of Attraction. Let's see. Because I really love this deck. And I want to end on a lot more happy note. But yeah, if it resonates, please comment, please like, please subscribe. Love where you are. Appreciate current circumstances. Ask yourself why you want what you want. See the beauty in it all. And I feel like that resonates for you too with that Temperance card, all the healing and the Fool. And the shadow work with the Queen of Cups and Eight of Swords. You have a lot of inner traumas that you're battling. But I think you're going to really love the person you become after all of this transpires. So I really do wish you luck in everything going on and sending you lots of love because I felt really heavy energy here, especially this Five of Pentacles and Nine of Swords. But it gets better for sure, and I see you crawling your way out and fighting off whoever tries to slow you down. But again, please like, subscribe, and I will definitely see you for your next video. Stay safe, stay happy, bye.